The AMX-12 Ton is a French Tier 6 light tank. The design of the light, high-speed tank was developed in 1946. The vehicle was never actually produced, but it became the basis for the well-known AMX-13. This tank is the first automatic loader French light tank. The automatic loader is connected to two 6-shell drums in the back of the turret, which are loaded with shells from the storage compartment in the rear of the tank's hull. Only one of those is used in World of Tanks for game balance, and let's see how it fares in some gameplay. Hello guys and welcome back to World of Tanks Ace Tanker series. As you can see, today we'll be driving the AMX-12 Ton, and driving the AMX-12 Ton is Proca DS. Now he is in a really bad matchup here, he is in Tier 9 matchup. But we are going to see that even if you are a scout in this kind of bad matchup, you can do a lot of things to help your team, and well, there are a lot of players that just throw their life away when see this kind of matchup. They just drive towards the enemy cap, try and spot something, then die. So the better thing for you to do is find a nice bush like Proca did here, and just basically spot everything in the enemy base. So the map is excellent for him. He is on Malinowka, as you can see, he went for a standard light tank position that's on the F5, the bush that you, well, if you're playing World of Tanks, you should know about this bush. And when you get spotted in your base, that means there is a scout in this bush, so the enemies are, well, they should know where he is. If he is not getting spotted, that means that he is somewhere around here. So the best bet for you to do when you are driving your light tank in a bad matchup is find a nice bush and try passive spot, or just go active spot. The AMX-12 Ton is not that great for active spotting because it has a pretty bad traverse speed and pretty bad acceleration, but as a passive scout it's excellent because it has beautiful camera rating, and you'll have it easy, not going to get spotted by the enemy tanks that are trying to find you. So there's a couple of things that you should know about this position before you just start rushing towards it in every game that you are playing. Yeah, the first of all is that either side you're playing you can get to this bush. The only downside is that if you have scouts on this map, they're probably going to try and go for this bush. Let's say 50% of the time they'll always try and go for this bush, so you're going to probably encounter light tanks from the other side pushing towards this position as well. You have to be ready for that if you are going to drive your light tank here. The second thing for you to, well, be careful about is that the enemies are going to be firing blindly on this bush, but as you can see, this enemy team doesn't have a clue about World of Tanks actually, and they are not even trying to blind shot this bush, and if they did, they would probably kill Proca in 3 or 4 shots. But yeah, they're not doing so, so he is pretty safe here. The last and not least is that you have to be careful when you move. So even though the enemy tanks are not spotted, that doesn't mean they are not there in some bushes and that they cannot spot you. This is something that, well, spoiler alert, the Proca is not going to do this very well, so he is still spotting here. He is spotting for this Indian Panzer, and by now you can see that the scores are 7-0. This Indian Panzer is the only thing that's spotted right now. There are only a couple of tanks on the hill as well. Those tanks were the ones that, well, had it smart, and they went around the circle of the spotting circle of the AMX and went towards the hill, so kudos to them. Yeah, this is the thing that Proca does bad in this gameplay. Now, I was saying, if there are no tanks on the minimap, that doesn't mean that they are not there, and he actually gets shot here by the Waffenträger Panzervier. You can say where that Waffenträger has pulled back, and he also gets shot by the WZ-132, so notice where the WZ-132 was. He was in a nice position to spot Proca as soon as he left the bush, so you have to be really careful when you are trying to move from your known position. Unfortunately, he gets shot down here, and well, for the rest of the game we are going to see just friendly team just plowing through the enemies and finishing them off one by one. So why I picked up this video from all of the other scouting videos yeah, I just wanted to point out a couple of things that usually people don't get it when they are driving a low tier tank in a high tier game. Even though if you are not the high tier, that doesn't mean that you cannot help your team. Case in point here, Broca did the exact thing that you should expect from a scout. He scouted for his team, and at the end of the game we'll see in the battle results what he did. So he's saying in the chat he has more than 6,000 spots. Yeah, basically he will have more than 6,000 spots. You may notice that we had 7 dead tanks in a, well, average tier 8 matchup. That's going to be around 10,000, so well, just let us see how this game ends. Unfortunately he died at the end. As I mentioned earlier, only one bad thing that he did. He really didn't realize that there could be some tanks that can spot him, and I think that he got spotted by the WZ from the other side. So yeah, really nice gameplay here by Broca. Let's just wait for the friendly tanks to finish off the last Waffenträger and we'll go for the post-game stats. That's a GG, and let's take a look at the post-game stats. Well, we can see that Broca had a really nice game here. He got a couple of medals like Sprotter, unsurprisingly, Scout, unsurprisingly, Patrol Duty, also not surprising me at all, and of course the Master Badge Ace Tanker. On the team score sheet we can see that he finished first with 0 damage, 0 kills and 1372 experience. On the detailed report we can see that he fired only 1 shot and that 1 shot didn't penetrate. But look at the scouting damage that he did. 10,294, that is one of the most scouting that I saw in a light tank. And with the standard account he was also able to score 46,000 credits. Now we take a step back and we saw what he did in this gameplay. He did the only logical and good thing to do with a scout in a bad matchup like he got here. The tier 9 matchup, and he's a tier 6 scout tank, so he went scouting. What I wanted to showcase with this replay is not only the tank, the map, it is also the mentality that you have to have when driving your tanks into the game. You should never give up even though the odds are dealt against you. As always guys, if you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, you can dislike it. If you have any questions, you can put it in the comment section down below and I will answer you as soon as possible. And if you're wondering what to watch next, you have a small button in the top right corner that can lead you to another video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, you can do it now. It really helps me out a lot. I hope you guys like this one and I see you in the next one.